Hi everyone, it's Rochelle. Welcome back to my channel. So I don't know if I actually filmed an intro for this video or not, so we're just gonna do it just to be on the safe side. But I am doing that series that I mentioned where I am reading scary or haunted houses, moving into a new house, etc. for a fun little reading vlog. And so I've been reading We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer, and I am having a very good time so far with it, but I won't say any more than that because I do have some little moments throughout the video where I go and touch base and mention where things are. But I hope that you enjoy this video as much as I hopefully will, and if not, we're just gonna have to stay up together, right? Because sometimes we just need a friend to help keep us company when we're unable to fall asleep at night because we read something scary or watched something scary. So wish me luck. Morning everyone. So I have gotten to page, I think 17 or 16 of We Used to Live Here. I just started this last night because I finished my other previous book, and so far it definitely seems a little bit interesting. And I didn't get too far because I was starting it really late last night and kind of starting to fall asleep a little bit in bed while reading it. But I definitely understand the dynamics of Eve and Charlie because my partner and I are kind of similar. I'm very introverted, and so with certain things I'm like, hey, can you go and do this? Can you make this call? Can you do this thing? But when it comes to making certain decisions, he'll either ask me if someone is asking him that stuff so that he can also get my point of view, and we basically decide those things together. So it's definitely interesting seeing that going forward with this book because we haven't met Charlie yet. We're just kind of seeing Eve with her being literally faced on day one, page one, with this family coming up to her door and saying like, hey, can we tour this house? So we're jumping right in. So I'm very curious to see how it goes. And I think there's some Morse code pieces in this book. I remember hearing someone's review here on Booktube talking about that, but I'm not seeing like a key or anything like that in the book. So maybe I'm gonna have to look that up online. There's also like this map type of thing in the beginning of the book as well. And I'm definitely curious what that indicates in the book. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah. The beginning of our reading haunted books begins. Alright, so I'm at the halfway point in this book so far, and it's definitely good. I am very curious on a bunch of different mysteries that have kind of popped up. Like, is a lot of the stuff that's going on currently part of Eve's paranoia and her anxiety just kind of manifesting and making and assuming the worst in things? Or is this stuff that's actually happened? And regarding some of the Morse code things, I actually did type up some questions to see if anyone had made like a key so that I knew what some of the stuff meant. And I actually saw an article from someone that was saying like, read this after you're done reading the book. So I was like, okay, enough said. I'll tab this for later and read it after I'm done, because I really would prefer not to have any spoilers for the book until after I finish it. And the one thing that I have seen is like, some people were like, some of the stuff doesn't make sense, or you're still going to be left with questions after the book ends. And that piece is a little bit frustrating, but since I've already like looked up and done some research and have an article to read after I'm done, that isn't as frustrating as it would have initially been. But yeah, halfway point of this book. I am so intrigued because right now it seems like Eve can't get a hold of Charlie. Like, Charlie left before she woke up, and then that family is still in the house, and it seems like they keep coming up with excuses like, oh yeah, we're gonna leave after this. No, actually, we need to wait to leave until the weather improves. I'm so sorry, we'll get out of your hair. We're gonna leave after yada yada yada. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I can definitely feel some of the frustrations, and can see how there's some comparisons with Get Out, because with Get Out there's a bunch of different mysteries that you're just pulling your hair at and wondering what's going on. So I do see the comparisons there. I'm not quite sure with the comparison with Parasite though, so we'll see how that goes. And it seems like the movie that is going to be coming out for this book is actually going to be on Netflix, but I don't know when exactly that's coming out, so I'll have to look into that more after I finish the book. Okay, apologies because like my allergies are acting up and I'm a little bit sniffy, but I just finished We Used to Live Here, and oh my god, the amount of questions, the amount of times my mind and brain were just all over the place wondering what the heck was going on, if I was also going crazy like the main character and losing my mind. Oh my gosh, this book was really good. I feel like I'm definitely gonna need time to process it and figure out exactly where my rating for it lies. I don't think it's a 5-star for me personally, just because of some frustrations. I definitely get these even when I'm watching movies that are very similar to the character not being sure if she can trust her memory, and a lot of other people going and questioning what she remembers. Those things are just so frustrating for me, because just with the communication piece, it's like you want to confide in people and you want them to understand you and be right by your side no matter what, and then when you have these experiences, it's just so frustrating. I'm trying to be kind of vague because I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that, but oh my gosh. And I know that this has a deal, I believe, with Netflix, because I did kind of like look up a few things, and I know that this book has a deal with Netflix, and I can't wait to go and watch that movie. I'm about ready as well to go and dive into forums, because I need to know other people's thoughts, because I'm like, what the actual heck? So I have a forum pulled up where someone has like this bonus layer of We Used to Live Here. Disclaimer, read it only if you have read the first book, okay? Or read the book first, sorry, I switched around those words. So I will share this down in the comments below for anyone that has also read this book and has a million questions. I'm about to read it and see what happens there, but oh my gosh, I definitely can see the similarities and the mentionings of this being similar to Get Out and Parasite. I feel like also in some ways it kind of reminded me of that one horror movie called Barbarian. Yeah, I don't know. There were also some moments last night when I was reading it where I was thoroughly creeped out, and I was like, I know I want to finish reading this, but at the same time, I'm a little creeped out and I need to stop because it's nighttime and I want to be able to sleep. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at currently, but definitely a very creepy book. Lots of questions go through your head, and at the end of the book, you're still left with some questions that aren't answered, which is so frustrating. But yeah, I'm gonna go and dive into some forums and see if I can get any answers, because some people are smarter than me and figure out stuff and piece things together that I might not have realized, especially since there is some Morse code throughout the book. But yeah, holy crap, I can definitely see why so many people were talking about that book, because yeah, I'm probably going to be thinking about it for quite a while afterwards. So update, I've kind of been reading forums and I am on Reddit for the Old House archive, and I'm going into some rabbit holes, and I just feel like it's too big brain for me. And yeah, I don't know, because it seems like people are actually emailing the email referenced in the book and having conversations with these people and then pulling up Old House stuff, and I'm like, I'm confused now. Is this real? Is this not real? So yeah, I'm gonna stop looking at this because my brain really hurts, and I'm gonna look for my next read. Okay, yeah. So if you've also gone into a rabbit hole for this book and apparently seen this thing that some people are ARGs, and I had to look up that as well. And it says an ARG, alternate reality game, is a type of interactive storytelling where players come together to solve puzzles and tasks in order to progress through the story arc. And there's definitely a lot of people in this that are really looking into this book and seeing all these different things, and I'm like like I said, it's too big brain for me, and I have to get ready to go over to the other house and do some cleaning, and yeah, I don't so we might have to take a breather from the haunted house, paranormal things, alternate reality. I don't know. We're gonna take a break from that. So I'll talk to you later and do another check-in after my brain has processed and fully wiped this from my memory. So ugh. Hey everyone, editing Rochelle here, and Finn up here. But I am editing right now and realized I completely forgot to film an outro for my haunted house series, or reading a haunted house while living in a new home. And I'm adding this to my Vlogmas videos just because yesterday I was sick and I was unable to go and film like I had originally planned. So I figured let's add a fun little reading vlog into the mix of all of this, and hopefully you enjoy. And then you'll get to see some of the other videos that I have coming out soon. But if you've also read We Used to Live Here, I'd love to hear your thoughts. As you see, I was very conflicted by some of the things I read and came across. It just went over my mind and I couldn't fully comprehend everything that I was reading, and it almost felt like Inception in a way. Like I needed to find something to like go and spin to make sure I was in the real world. So yeah, definitely went down a rabbit hole, but I'll go and include some of the links that I was looking at in the description below. So if you choose to do a rabbit hole as well, you can go and look into some of that stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little reading vlog. I do think the book was worth the hype. It was really fun to read, and like I said, I am definitely interested in going and watching the movie whenever it comes out. I believe it will be on Netflix, and Blake Lively apparently is going to be playing one of the characters, which is really interesting. Not really the choice I would have gone with, nothing against her, but since it's a queer couple in the story, it kind of seems a little bit weird and off for me having her there. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know when the release date is going to be from the movie. I've been reading different things on that as well. But either way, I am so excited to see it whenever it does come out. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of Bookmas, and I'll talk to you all again in the next video. And always remember that you are worthy and capable of amazing things. Bye!